I was probably around the age of 14 when I discovered graffiti and I fell in love with it. And yeah, it's kind of shaped and formed the rest of my life since then. Yeah, I spent lots of time doing graffiti, tagging things, being hated, painting trains. And then after about 20 years of doing graffiti, I kind of got bored with it for numerous reasons, and I was going to get sent to prison the next time I got caught doing graffiti. And I didn't particularly want to go to prison. And this was around the time that street art, or the beginnings of street art, it wasn't called street art then, it didn't have a name. But there was a bunch of people around the world doing something that was illegal, that was on the street, and it wasn't graffiti. And it just kind of interested me a lot more than, it interested me in the same way that graffiti interested me when I was a teenager. I kind of embraced that, and here I am in New Brighton. I didn't choose the words that are written on the wall. I had a wall to paint around the corner, and then the people decided that they preferred it black to my painting, which, you know, it's their building, their choice. I don't mind. So yeah, we found this another wall that we could paint, and I kind of worked out how many letters, how many words that I could fit on the wall, and I wrote down a list of potential options. And the dude whose house it is chose the phrase that I've written on it. The impact from my painting so far has been positive. Everyone likes it. Like, a lot of people are like, what does it say? And I'm like, yeah, it's the long words that I have trouble with. It's just, you know, it's just like a little burst of colour. It's something to kind of like inspire. I think what they're trying to do here is exciting, admirable, but they seem like a bunch of people that are going to learn by their mistakes and continue doing what they're doing. Yeah, I'm all about helping people that want to just like, yeah, whatever, let's do it. You know, I like doing things. I don't like sitting around and having meetings about doing things. I like doing things. And if you do it wrong, take it down off the website and do it right. And that's kind of like the vibe and the energy that I feel about Dan and, you know, the people that are around him. So I'm not known for that. Like, well, I don't think I'm known. There's a bunch of fonts that I use, and the Circus font is a particularly easy font for me to write without having to think about it. So I do it a lot, and I probably am known for it. And it's like the Circus font that I'm doing at the moment is like the third kind of, you know, the third kind of evolution of that font. I consider myself I don't know, somebody that experiments and plays around with fonts and typography rather than, you know, a street artist. You know, I'm not a sign writer because I don't have the skills. I'm not a graffiti writer because I don't, you know, follow the graffiti rules anymore. You know, but I kind of like dip into all these different things. And I like typography, so I'm continually, I think what I'm going to concentrate on is doing different fonts and different typography, but then, yeah, anyway, yeah, so yeah, fuck all that circus rubbish, we're doing something new. Graffiti is destructive, and graffiti is vandalism. Nobody wants graffiti. So, and street art, it adds something. It makes a difference, it makes people happy, it starts a conversation. I get in trouble for graffiti, but I get paid for street art. So the real graffiti rules are no tape, no stencils, freehand everything, steal your paint, trains only, bombing. Oh, this year. Yeah, not even 12 months.
Get caught?
Definitely not. Yeah, we don't even have to run away anymore. Yeah, no, we're still painting trains. I never kind of anticipated. I just thought I'd be lucky if I was designing t-shirts and stickers and skateboards and paying my rent, which isn't that far from the truth. Yeah. I had a birthday party at the Dragon Bar. The Dragon Bar was this friend of mine, Justin. He opened up a bar in Shoreditch, well, Old Street, the back of Old Street roundabout. So anyway, me and an ex-girlfriend called Lucy, we were both kind of like Leos, and we had a joint birthday party. And this little bearded, scruffy kid came up to me and goes, "Yeah, my name's Banksy, you're Ben, aren't you?" And that's how I met Banksy. We went to Palestine. First time either of us went to Palestine. We did this amazing thing in Sydney Zoo. We spent a long time at night in Sydney Zoo and painted so much fucking really cool shit. And then went back the next morning to get photographs and everything was covered up by tarpaulin. So we didn't get one photographs. And it was at that, we were on our way from Sydney to Melbourne, and it was at that point we decided that why don't we just draw things on sheets of cardboard and throw them into the monkey enclosures. So all those photographs you see in Banksy websites and Banksy books of monkeys holding pieces of cardboard that says, "I'm a celebrity, get me out of here." That idea was developed on the back of spending 4 hours in Sydney Zoo and getting chased out and not getting one photo and trying to work out a better way of doing it. Now we don't have to break into zoos anymore. Just walk in there with an art portfolio and a load of left-handed scribbles on cardboard. Where else did we go? We got chased out of Berlin Zoo. It was just a fun thing to do. We used to break into zoos and paint the penguin enclosures and the chimpanzee things. Just, you know, some people like to go to like I've never seen the Statue of Liberty or the Eiffel Tower or the fucking Leaning Tower of Pisa. I break into zoos and paint stupid things. I go to Japan next week and I'm meeting the oldest woodblock printers in Tokyo. And so I'm going to go and visit their factory and they want to do a print with me. So that's kind of quite exciting. Loads of my friends have started up like print studios, you know, with the intention of helping their friends and helping artists and helping emerging artists. And after like 3 years of doing it, they're just like, why did I do this? Why did I do this? It just cost me money. It's like I'm the one supporting all these bastards, you know, blah, blah. And I've done exactly the same thing, but based around typography and fonts. So yeah, so we've set up this company called Types, and it's getting friends of mine to design typography fonts that hopefully will sell, but it's just going to cost me money. Yeah, I was lying in bed last night just thinking I've just fallen into the trap, haven't I? Just like, I will do something that sells and the money that we earn through that will just support my friends doing stuff that doesn't sell. But hey, we've got to do something, haven't we? So, no, the Fuck Boris campaign, it's just a bit of a joke, isn't it? It's like, he's a fucking buffoon. A friend of mine does this thing called Sports Banger, and they just bootleg things. So anyway, Sports Banger did a Fuck Boris t-shirt, and then we bootlegged a bootlegger, but did it better. Shepard embraced something hopeful and that was going to be a new change for America, whereas we're just saying fuck Boris. So there's a huge difference between the two campaigns. and basically we're giving our stuff away. Like, you know, we're selling t-shirts for like cost, and then, you know, we're giving away the graphics for people to do what the fuck they want to do with it. So yeah, we want to see fuck Boris flags flying down Pall Mall. Yeah, Jeremy Corbyn's got a t-shirt. So I did a job for a woman called Anya Hindmark, and she is friends with Samantha Cameron. And 2 weeks before I got the phone call, the Observer newspaper did a 2-page like spread on a project that I'd been doing in London. So basically I imagine David and Samantha lying in bed reading the Observer, and David said, "Oh, Samantha, have you seen this?" And Samantha says, "Oh yes, Anya knows that Wick. He paints his stuff all over London, he's a street artist." And David says, "Well, I'm going to meet Obama next week, and he employed that Shepard character, and isn't he a street artist?" And I said, and we've got to do an art exchange, maybe we should get this Ben character. So anyway, that's the conversation I imagine them having in bed. And then, so I got a phone call from Anya Hindmark, and she's like, "Yeah, Downing Street want your number." So I was like, yeah, cool. And then Downing Street phoned me up, and they're like, "So David Cameron's meeting Obama, and they've agreed to do an art exchange, and we're interested in you to be the artist." And I was like, "All right, cool." And then there was like backwards and forwards with images and blah, blah. And then they chose a painting that said 21st Century City. And then they came to my studio, picked it up, and gave it to President Obama. and apparently it was in one of his daughter's bedrooms the entire time they were at the White House. And when they left, they took it with them, and it's still in his daughter's bedroom, wherever they live now, Chicago or somewhere. I was apparently the only living artist to have a painting in the White House at the time. I was definitely the only English living artist. There isn't another English artist to have a painting in the White House. I should probably milk this a little bit more, shouldn't I? It's up there in the world. Definitely in London, definitely easily in England, 2 weeks. Can't see it from space. However, a friend of mine, she worked for NASA, and I hadn't spoken to her in ages, and I phoned her up and I was like, Trish, do you know anyone with a space station? And she's like, yeah. I was like, great, done this painting, can you get it photographed? And it was photographed by the International Space Station, and apparently they changed the course of the space station to photograph my painting in Hackney. So, yeah, you couldn't see it from space, but you could photograph it from space. I would like to paint a train with one up whilst the train's running. That would be something cool. I'd like to get a group of key graffiti writers together and go to some yard somewhere with a platform and do a whole train, probably New York somewhere. This is like the dream. So yeah, it'd be me, Howard Nosum, Teach, Oka, Futura, Crash, Lee, Scene, and we do a top to bottom full colour whole train on New York subway. That would be quite cool. You know, screen print with Andy Warhol, that'd be quite nice. A song with Lady Gaga. No, I'd like to do a song with, what's the name, Alanis Morissette. I'd like to cover Isn't It Ironic with Alanis Morissette. That's an artistic collaboration. How would I like to be remembered? As a nice person. I don't know. Everyone's going to have a different opinion of me. The wives, the children, the girlfriends, the friends. Turn into a DMX song. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to be fondly remembered. I'd like to be remembered as opposed to forgotten. There's a start. And then fondly remembered would be nice. But then it's like Winston Churchill, the best quote ever on this subject. Winston Churchill, he said, history is going to be very kind to me because I'm going to write it. And he did. So it's like, you know, how you're remembered, it's got nothing to do with what you actually did and the person you are. It's how you're perceived and, you know, what's written about you. And I'm one of these people that people do write things about me, and there are blogs, and, you know, you can find out anything you want, and good and shit, and it's not all true, and some of it is true. And so yeah, how I would like to be remembered, well, God knows. I'd like to be remembered. Get a pencil and a piece of paper and draw and draw and draw and draw, and every spare second draw.